we had a high pressure system move in yesterday. It didn't mean we see any rain, and we saw some of the rain overnight, seeing the clouds this morning, but sunshine will finally start to make its way on out this afternoon, and it's going to leave us a little bit warmer than some of the chillier temperatures we saw yesterday. And then as we get later into the week, our weather's going to be dictated by a storm system. It's going to bring in some warmer temperatures. It's going to also bring some in starting Thursday to finish out the week, and then it's going to bring down some cooler temperatures as we start to head through the weekend, and that's going to continue into early next week. So we're not going to feel the warmth we're going to feel this Friday, and we're going to be getting into that. But let's talk about some of the clouds we're seeing this morning, because maybe a couple showers in northern Minnesota, probably some very light, maybe some, probably sprinkles overall. So outside of that, mostly just seeing that cloud cover, but that's not going to be sticking around. Once you start heading to the afternoon, you might start seeing a little bit of cloud cover still stick around as we go further southwest, but for much of the Northland, we're going to see the sun really poke its way on through. So really enjoy that sunshine as we will have it this afternoon, and it's going to keep those temperatures a little bit more into the comfortable side. We're looking at 50s for those highs today, maybe more into the upper 50s in northwest Wisconsin, maybe slightly cooler, especially as you go further north and west. But overall, it is going to be pretty comfortable outside, especially with the sunshine and the relatively calm winds we're going to have. And once we get into the overnight hours, so a good number of us are going to be pretty cool, upper 30s, low 40s, but you'll notice there is the signs of a warm front coming there. You'll notice as you go along the I-35 corridor, seeing those temperatures stay closer to 50 degrees, and that warm front is associated with a storm system that's going to be making its way on up. And one of the big things it's going to do at first is draw up some of that warm, moist air out of the south, and it is going to be pretty blustery winds that are going to be pulling up this warm air. I going to see some gusts getting over 20 miles per hour on Thursday, and those winds out of the south are going to continue into Friday, and guess what? Getting even stronger on Friday. Now we're looking at gusts potentially for much of the Northland getting closer to 30 miles per hour, if not more at times. So going to be pretty blustery as we get to Friday, and that's going to warm the temperatures up. Look at Thursday, you'll notice staying a little bit cooler into the airhead. This is where we expect to be some rainfall, but as you look further to the southwest, notice a lot more of us starting to see those 60s for those highs on Thursday, and overnight really not going to cool at all. Some of us might actually see a little bit warming overnight into Friday, where we can see temperatures, especially in northwest Wisconsin, get well into the upper 60s and even into those low 70s, staying again a little bit cooler as you go further to the northwest. So it is going to be a pretty mild one once we get to Friday, thanks to that warm air being drawn up. And of course, the biggest thing with any storm system is with the rain it's going to make its way through, and the most confidence for that rain is going to be coming in on Thursday. Early Thursday, we're going to start seeing a warm front passing through. That's going to bring some rain showers through the Northland. Northern Minnesota has the better chance of seeing some of that rain, but all the Northland likely to see some rain for Thursday. And then we do have a chance continuing after that going into Friday. It becomes a little bit more nebulous, though, as we will have that cold front, so it is likely to initiate some showers, but overall it looks like it's going to be more isolated, scattered in nature, something just to keep a lookout for. And then as we're heading to the weekend, the confidence does drop off a bit more. That system was initially thought to stick around a bit, as is going to be cut off from the jet stream, but it looks like it's going to push well to the north. But we can still see some showers, especially further east, as the new system will develop. It looks like that new system that develops is going to stay off to the east, but something to keep an eye on this weekend. But overall, we should be pretty dry through the weekend, especially as we head later on in the weekend. And when it comes to the rain totals, well, especially on the Minnesota side, where a lot of that rain is expected to be, we're expecting up to an inch might be possible, but a lot of us are going to be around half an inch or less, so not a huge washout, but definitely bringing some needed rain thanks to the dry conditions that we have been under. And you'll look at the cooler weather, because after that warm front pass through, we're going to have a cold front. We're going to leave Sunday a little bit cooler. By then, we're going to see highs pretty seasonal into the 50s once again. And if you look at our 7-day forecast, the cooler weather is probably going to be sticking around as we get into early next week. And enjoy some of the break in the rain as we get Sunday, Monday, because it looks like Tuesday there's a chance we see more rain make its way in. With